Yeah, we good. We good, bro. Yeah. Be right up in 1 second. It's gonna be good. Yeah, 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 yeah. Education, education, education saves lives. Do you hear what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. You're going to give it a couple minutes, man. Tell your friends we live. Tap in. Education. We're going to illuminate some things. Going to ask you some questions so you can see where you're getting caught up at. And you can see who being played and who's playing on your intelligence. Oh, man, I told you the day of the scam artists will end real soon on all levels. Remember, at first you had those multi-level marketing scam artists. I had one of my guys that I went to high school with that did that crap. Didn't think it was gonna catch up with him. All that multi-level marketing, they jumped from one scam to the other scam. I mean, look how it was in our community. You had scams. Oh, I could claim your nationality. Then a brother converted. Then he talk about he can get you some money. Scams in our community. See, I'm not here for nobody team. I'm an educator. Scams in our community. First, a person can claim your nationality. Then they can say they can make you some money with some fake forex. All scams. All scams to run a credit card play. To do the federal army thing. All a scam, a play. Credit card fraud. That's what this is. An old Jedi mind trick. And this is what Negroes want to do. This is what the community, it's no accountability across the board. And this was Moore's do. A whole bunch of fraud stuff. Oh yeah, we got time today. Moors and black folk want something quick. They want something real quick, but they're not educated. They always talking about file some this, or I can show you how to do this. Nobody can show you how to make nothing. We talk about all fraud. We talk about RICO. The RICO wasn't just for the mob. RICO for all y'all doing this mail fraud. And then you doing it on the internet. See, these young boys, I had to tell a young boy, I said, boy, I'm 46, I'm old enough to be your dad. You doing all this crime on the internet. This is RICO. All this sovereign citizen stuff, all RICO. All that fake PPP loan, you frauding people. Oh, okay, well, you say your family net worth, but you don't even know these people family net worth. You tell them to claim all this and all that. You going to jail. It's defrauding the government. And that's what these Negroes doing. I'm telling y'all, I know all their names. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing investment, real investment. People that do real investment, they not popular. And they don't show no money. You know? We don't show money. An educator educates. Our community has become messed up. We done got with scam artists in our community. And then what we do is pacify it. These is facts. Because a lot of misnomer black folk and Moors got into this science thinking they get ready to get something. Thinking they're going to file some paperwork. Thinking they finna claim some, I'm finna expatriate from the de facto government. All fraud, all across the board. That Hotep, that black power shit. That I'm finna overthrow the government. That's some European shit. That's some European militia shit. I don't like the government. We're not going to talk about this. We're just going to sit up here and play games. Like, why do we do this? Why do people, if you some damn foreign national, why you don't have a passport? Why you making up shit as you go? How you a foreign national? You can't even explain it. Noble Drew Ali wasn't no foreign national. This is stupid. And then going around saying you're not an American citizen. So what are you? You can't even explain that. You don't even know how the temple was set up. None of these, if you don't have the official documents, how the temple was set up, you base your understanding on what somebody telling you. You see? All these brothers. Every last one of them. So we're going to talk about something today in our community. In our community. When I say Moors science, with a lot of Moors, it's poor science. Because all you got to do is look at a lot of the brothers. I mean, a lot of brothers be saying, look at things. I don't look at things that man make. The ultimate trust. I hear that. But that's what I'll be telling people. It's like, man, I don't get caught up in things like that. It's fine. I'm an American. I'm not here to argue with no one. I ask a person, read the 13th and the 14th and the 15th Amendment. I'm an American. What type of American I am? A Moorish American. I know who my mother and father is. I know their background. I know all this. So this Moorish science stuff became popular in the last couple of years. I asked everybody, how old are you? I asked everyone that. I said, how old are you? And then I said, well, this became popular to you in the last couple of years. It's no disrespect. It's only one law. It's only, I mean, come on. Man, truster, I know what truster and trust, I get all that. But I'm talking about in context. I'm not here to debate with nobody. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to debate with my brothers and sisters. If this is what we do, we need to teach. We need to be teaching our children what we know. We need to, if we have children, if we have wives, that's what we need to be teaching. I'm not here to argue with my brothers. I'm not here to, I know what trust is, but to be a trustee, have to be something there when everybody say, I'm going to do a trust. What do you have in a trust? What do a person have? What do you have liquid? What do you own? When a person say a trust, I get all that. When they say, oh, we got a 1099, that ain't nothing. That's an affidavit. So when a person talk about a trust, what trust you talking about? When they say it's a trust fund for the Moors at the end of the rainbow, what trust fund? The 1099? That ain't nothing but that ain't nothing. I'm from the temple. The 1099 ain't nothing but our affidavit. It's a 1099, how the temple was set up. So what trust are we talking about? When people say it's a trust fund for Moors, what trust fund? I'm not here to disrespect no one. What trust fund? We just can't say stuff. And it's not valid. What trust fund? Just like if a person say, I got a irrevocable trust or a living trust. What's in the trust? To be living. So what trust we talking about? I don't come from no disrespect. If a person say the trust, what trust you talking about? Because I break it all the way down and it's no disrespect to nobody. I'm not here to play semantics with no one. I love everyone. I teach law. I teach this in academia. If a person say the truster, what's the truster? What are we talking about in context? So it's no disrespect. It's no disrespect to no one. Everybody say they have a trust. What's in your trust? I know, see, and I know all this. No disrespect to no one. But we have to understand the language of what's the trust. Man, hold on. So when a person talking about a trust, What trust they talking about? Because there's only one temple. So what's a trust? I understand that. But when a person talk about what trust you talking about, I just broke this down. This is how the temple set up. So when a person say a trust, what they talking about? I think we don't have an idea on what trust really consists of. And it's no disrespect. It's no disrespect to no one. I know what the Holy Morris Quran states, but that's not law. What does the law state? When I tell you definition of a state, when I tell you the true essence of what a body politic consists of, I'm not going to do that all day because I did it. Or what a state consists of when the temple was set up. What the 10-10-5905 form, what the 1099 recorded in the recorder of deeds, office in the county of Cook, state of Illinois. An affidavit. A lot of people, when they talk about they're going to expatriate from the de facto government, man, a lot of Moors are confused on navigating. When you expatriate from the so-called de facto government, you are a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad. It's no disrespect. So I don't know what people be talking about. They say they just be spewing stuff off at the mouth. But all temples, it's only one temple. We can't arbitrarily explain it. All temples were set up under the Hurd Smith revised status of chapter 32, section 36. Because that actually clearly states that, and I quote eloquently with a silver tongue. I'm talking about how all temples are set up. Any church, congregation, society formed for the purpose of religious worship may become incorporated by electing was crossed out by our prophet and appointed according to our usage, customs, at any meeting held for that purpose. Similar to any meeting held for that purpose for two or more trustees, wardens, or vestrymen, or such officers whose powers and duties are similar to those of trustees, as shall be agreeable to the usage and customs, rules, or regulations of such congregation, church, or society, and may adopt a corporate name upon the filing of the affidavit, because that's all it is. As hereby provided, it shall be and remain a body politic and corporate by the name so adopted. You want to see the precedent at law case? PA 81-1509. I'm not here to argue with no my brothers. I'm here to illuminate. I told brothers, a lot of people done got themselves in trouble. You're going to fall under the RICO law and mail fraud. So when you study this Religious Corporation Act and you glance at the affidavit of the organization, which is the original form number 1099, and you will see how our prophet followed the substantial form of revised status. So it's no disrespect to no one. I just want to clear that up for brothers and sisters. We've been played on by our own people because the lack of true application, the lack of studying, the lack of having real conversations because we want something. And that's how we get caught up in a Ponzi scheme. No one can nationalize you or denationalize you. It'll change you from the descendant nature of your foremothers and forefathers. How can somebody on the internet say they something and they're not a real organization? One person is not nothing. That's our authority, but it's really titled the Affidavit of Organization. The definition and organization can include, and I quote, a wide range of entities or organization defined as a what? A corporation, a government, governmental subdivision, agency, trust, estate, partnership, association. Man, I can go on and on how this temple is set up. So I'm not here to argue with people. I'm not here to debate with people fascist groups. I'm not here to do that. That's not my thing. But I tell you what, the Moorish Science Temple of America have divine creed and bylaws. We have a tax ID number. All that. So when people just be spewing out the mouth, I know that come from the internet. It's no disrespect to no one, and I'm not even going to indulge in that. Not even going to indulge in that. So let's indulge with the topic at hand. Because see, a lot of things has become popular in our community, and that's scamming. And oh, I'm gonna overthrow the government, and I think I can file a piece of paperwork, and I can get something, and I'm not an American. Then I ask all these brothers with all these stacks of papers, oh, I'm a sovereign citizen. Well, how are you a sovereign and a citizen at the same time? That's an oxymoron. You can't be no sovereign and no citizen. You can't even explain. You talk about you finna expatriate from this de facto government. What are you talking about? I educate brothers on this stuff. I educate brothers on all this. It ain't no law for no Moors. You kill somebody, you're going to be charged the same way as an American. That's the real consular courts. It's no make believe. So I'm not here to argue with no one. I'm not here for nobody to spill a whole bunch of stuff. People can do whatever they please. And if it's making you righteous, fine. I've been doing this too long. And forget all this more stuff. The only reason why people can take a passport picture with the fez on because it's your religious headdress. You're not no Moroccan. If you're a Moroccan, go to Morocco right now. A lot of people ain't even left their homes. And I said this Moorish criminal science in the wrong context have gotten a lot of people messed up. Just talking about the wrong thing. A lot of people still making fake passports and they want an ID. Man, your social security number is going to follow you and all y'all work. It's like, what are we talking about? It's like all the stuff we be spewing out the mouth mean nothing. Show me a trust fund at the end of the rainbow for Moors. Show me anything. Show me anything. Show me some fake counseling course or some fake Moroccan president and some consulate general. They in jail. See, I'm talking about scams in our community. It started in our community with the conscious. Oh, I can nationalize you. How can a man nationalize you and denationalize you? That'll change you from the descendant natures of your foremothers and forefathers. No one can explain that to you. No one can explain that with a sound mind. Why would you get some fake passport? You can't go out of nowhere with no cosmetics. Don't y'all know Mos Def, Hassim Bey, he had a problem with that world passport? Why do we want to do criminal things? It's no reason to do none of this behavior. That shows us that people is practicing, is showing us, and we're practicing criminal behaviors. It's just facts. And people don't even want to recognize that. And they put a fez on and they be spewing all this stuff off. I say, man, I asked all these conscious brothers, do you know the 13th and the 14th and the 15th Amendment? They couldn't say nothing about it. I say, do you know what manumissions are? They couldn't tell you nothing about it. I say, do you know what the SF 181 form consists of? They couldn't tell you nothing about it. Do they know the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15? They couldn't tell you nothing about it. The House Joint Resolution 75, couldn't tell you nothing about it. Couldn't tell you nothing about the Spencer and Dungy case. And it was illegal to be Negro, black, and color since 1853. Don't even know the historicalness of this Masonic or this Kemetic science, because we just watch YouTube videos and we deal with a lot of people that's not initiated, and we think initiation is wrong. Well, if your kid want to go through academia, they must be initiated. If your kid want to be a part of any sports or any team where it's learning involved, it's a form of initiation. What? Learning. What? Application. What? Aptitude. You can't just be making videos and then in your regular life, you're not nothing who you say. And these people work these little minimum jobs, riding around with fake plates, or riding or they girlfriend on Section 8. It's like, come on, man. So let's deal with the topic at hand. If we want to learn, we have to be willing to get rid of all that criminal behavior. Talk about you need a status correction. You got to tell me what a status correction is, because it's nothing. It ain't no status correction. We're not here to overthrow no government. We are here to defend the Constitution, because you are in the Constitution. If you understand law, what law? International law, local law, state law, international law and policy. And most brothers don't. We spew stuff off at the mouth because we get everything from the internet, and everybody happy because they got some stupid Black Laws dictionary. I say, man, them ain't nothing but law terms. We don't use that in law. Those are not precedented law cases. Those are terms. And a lot of those cases you can't use those for certain cases. You be crossing jurisdiction. And these is facts. These is facts. It's fraud on the whole level. Look at all these podcasters and all these frauds be on there. Look at all these people make videos of all these fake Moors, fact and fraud, and everybody talk about this our land. They drive without license, getting their head bust. People going to prison, losing their lives. And that's what we do. I keep telling y'all, it's a thing called the Internet Task Force. The police, they got a sovereign citizen unit where they sit on the internet and watch every goofy Negro that make videos. Talk about overthrowing the government. Don't you know that's fraud? Don't you know that's militia? Saying anything against the government, especially on social media. And I showed people these cases. I showed people these real names. I showed y'all all those so-called fascist groups, all those publications that's on there, all those groups on there, all those people that's going to jail now, they all on there. It's RICO. Don't you know? Man, listen, let's deal with this. When we talk about our money and our finances, a lot of people deal with this and they play on people unintelligence. It's no get rich quick way to get no money. The only way to build wealth over time is managing it. That's why I tell you everything must make sense. What? Not some, not all. When people talk about this, well, law governs all events. Man, I don't care about some connotated more science. Law governs all events. All events. And that's coming from a Sheik perspective. All my brothers that study more science, they should understand exactly what I'm saying. If they don't have the documents, that's how I know they're doing wrong. Because if they had law governs all events, they'll slow down everything they're doing. Point blank. And that's why these brothers don't want to teach it to them. Because law governs all events. Big facts. See, we talking about long term. You do an independent audit on these brothers, they shook up. I'm talking about an independent audit. It's all crumbling down. So when we talk about scam artists and Ponzi schemes, all of it is a Ponzi scheme. Hey, I can claim your nationality. Send me your social security number. I can get you some what I call it, passport with Janet Jackson and all that. That's a Ponzi scheme. Why you want to do all that? You can't even tell me why. And so now we don't get caught up in this trying to file some fake PPP loans and running the credit up. And people don't, it's not even financial responsible. And you just want to run the credit up. You think you can get a whole bunch of credit cards and don't have to pay it back? I can show you everybody that done the PPP fraud who in jail. Man, I'm from Flint, Michigan. I be telling these little boys, I said, dude, this is an old Jedi mind trick. I had a homeboy I went to high school with, was doing that multi-level marketing shit back in the day. Came over my house. I wish my Empress was here. Knocked on the door. I said, bro, I ain't gonna knock your hustle, but you know not to come to me with that trash. Broke it down, and they keep trying to reinvent themselves. He was in Atlanta, came back home with that multi-level marketing scam. It's a scam. And see, I'm telling you, let me tell y'all, they take this stuff from these Europeans and they try to bring it in your community because they play on your intelligence. They try to say, oh, you ain't making money because you ain't doing hard enough. And see, this is all a Jedi mind trick. See, if you want to learn any of this stuff that you paying these goofies, talk about they're going to teach you a Forex or they're going to teach you how to invest in Bitcoin. And I say, why would you invest all your money in Bitcoin if the stock market adjusts itself? You don't have no fiat. When they talk about fiat, you don't have no fiat to invest in the goddamn stock market of Bitcoin. When a goddamn, how can I say a stock market adjusts itself? Because it never crashes. It might snake a little bit, to the side, but the stock market never crashes. The stock market adjusts itself, just like seasons. Somebody always making a bag. In war and peace, money is being made. So when people just come off the fly talking crazy, man, please. People that do it in real life, they not popular because they do it, and we teachers and we journalists. We have that background. We have that academia. We do it with all people. I'm not here. Have you ever seen me out here trying to scam a whole bunch of poor black Negroes to invest in what we do and land and all this with Negroes that make less than 30 or 40,000 a year and then be bragging how much they make and all their money is in the closet or trying to overthrow the government? Man, I don't got no time for that. I'm 46. That's why I said, man, I have no time for no Negroes on the internet just huffing and puffing at the mouth. Let's see how you are in the next couple of years. You're still going to be working at the same place. None of that shit means nothing. I guarantee you that. You just get old and lonely. So this is an old Jedi mind trick. It's a European that wrote a book. His name is Robert Cialdini. Cialdini, Caildini. And in my library, we have over 1 million books. Our company, mypdfbooks.com, that's book with a Z. But I have a specific library that I deal with my college students and my muftis that I share with them. When I tell people, I said, I'm going to start showing y'all they ain't even as smart as these Europeans. I said, dude, because they only do it in their own community. See, Bernie Madoff was smart enough that he did it with people that had the bag. So he was able to rob Peter and pay Paul. But these people is robbing poor black folk that's filing fake taxes and stuff. That, let me tell you this old game. They'll tell you that they can help you run the credit up and get $10,000 worth of credit, but they charge you 50%. So I can have your screen ran, so I can charge that card before you get it. You get the number and stuff before it come in the mail. So I charged you something that you already in debt with, because all you did is ran some stupid ass play. You didn't help me get it. You help. What you did is help me defraud the government to get it. I gotta pay all this shit back, and then I'm paying you 50% because you helped me do a goddamn fraud. But all this shit, I inquired the debt. See, this stuff is too simple for me. All a scam. You can't get mad at me. All a scam. And that's what these brothers do. They want to run it up. They talk about they some alpha males. Man, these men is beta males. If you're doing a scam, if you just spewing off at the mouth on my Instagram, ain't never been on my page, ain't never researched me, because that's what we do. We'll start spewing at the mouth, but won't research a person. But then if a European on here telling your ass, you cut the lights out, go to work, take a lunch, stand straight up, cut your music down. But then when your brother on here, what we do is we try to have a pissing contest. And that's what I'll be saying, man. Brothers say an alpha male is going to sit down with reasoning. An alpha male is going to do the research and the background and make sure they coming in the right place, because they want to make sure they coming in the right perspective. That's what an alpha male does. Now, a beta male, and I ain't talking about nobody, what they do is they argue and they in debate. They'll be on a person page and might not even understand what they talking about, or might not even be down with what they saying, and still be on their page arguing. That show the mental health of males, what I talk about. And I say, I'll be feeling sad for the children, for a grown man to be on somebody's page spewing off at the mouth. Man, just go teach to your people. This is what I tell my brothers and sisters. We be wasting our energy. We have too much aggression with our own brothers and sisters, and not the same aggression in the outside world. And we'll take all those scams, we'll take all that negative energy and bring all that back to our community and be the devil with our own people and scam them. Because that's all that's happening today. It's no accountability. Because I do real business with non-melanated people. All my company, my PDF books, all the Fezes and the Talents and the Yarmulkes, to all my Jewish community, we do business together. I lecture on the college campus. I tutor children in academia. I'm a real trainer. I'm a licensed autistic and ADHD counselor in real life. I don't be here to try to prove nothing to nobody or try to make a quick dollar off people. I do this in real life. I come back on here and do it for donations. Just like one of my European colleagues said that do investments. He was like, man, all they got to do is sit down and give a donation and learn. Why would you take a class from these people on the internet? And if they speak your name to them, they'll be like, oh, start stuttering. Because all that stuff can be shut down in 1.2 seconds. Very, very, very easy. All the stuff. Because all you got to do is tell a person to prove it. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Anything a person saying, tell them to prove it. Is your wife understanding what you're saying? Is your children rocking with that? Because a grown man to get on here and promulgate something, but they whole family ain't rocking with it. They'll be the only one. They family be calling them crazy and say they don't know what's wrong with them. They'll be going around talking about they some sovereign citizen and the white man this and the white man that. That's what these Negroes be doing today. And everything else is a scam. Trying to file fake taxes, trying to file this, trying to squat in houses. That's what all this community and this energy has become. Scams. Scam, scam, scam. We all reading the same books, religion, and we all supposed to be brothers and sisters, but we scamming each other. And I just gave y'all 2 books. You don't have to take nobody course. These so-called influencers, since the COVID came out, y'all, they don't have no 10, 15 years of investment in real estate investment or no real academia, nothing. Everything popped out since COVID when people had the time to sit on their butts. That's when all this came out. All these people with these fictitious names, COVID came out. And when COVID came out, that's where all these, you can't give me nobody background of investment or being a CPA or having experience of doing none of this. But the first thing come out, it's a rapper lifestyle. And I call a lot of these men groupies. The rented Bentley, jumping out the goddamn old fake helicopter with the door closed. All this social media, I call it all green screen, is attracted people to scams. And everybody is accountable. All these podcasts is accountable. Watch, I'm trying to tell you, once the law get involved, which they already have, and the feds get involved, and all the alphabet boys Anytime you profit off of something like that and promote it, you just as guilty. You might as well do the crime. See, I don't care what a person say. And then if you make videos and you send out the mouth, you done. It's just how far down a rabbit hole you want to go. That's why I tell people education is the only key to everything. It's no shake weight. We got a whole bunch of brothers that dropped out of high school, got a third grade aptitude, and now what's popular on YouTube is a whole bunch of Negroes buying a whole bunch of books. Talk about, you see this law? Making TikTok videos. And now after all those TikTok videos, if nationality the order of the day, why ain't nobody doing it the real? Why ain't nobody doing it? They talk about the $5 Indians. Well, why you don't do it? Why don't you and your group of people, when you mad at everybody that tell you to shut up, well, get everybody that's doing it. Because I've done what I'd had to do, and me and my tribe has done what we had to do. So everything else is uncivilized. Everybody else arguing and being mad because they don't understand that they Americans. And they don't understand what the teachings of Moorish science consist of. They are on the internet. And this is facts, because you ask them more what temple you part of, where your sheik, I guarantee you it's none. They'll start spewing stuff out the mouth of what they heard on the internet. And I don't respect no old person. And you know, man, this Moorish science is older than Noble Drew Ali. It's older than all of us. Man, you got to talk about Deuce Muhammad Ali, Abdul Hamid Solomon. This science, this Kemetic science, this masonry, this African Hika is older than you and me and every Negro on this earth plane that just put a fez on today and playing around on the internet. And I call them internet Moors. You go in their city, they are not dressed like that. You see the documents they signing, everything. I guarantee you they are not living none of the life they saying. I can guarantee you. And if you're doing something on the internet, you committing fraud. If you drive without no operator's license, you committing fraud. If you squat in the house, you committing fraud. If you think you some sovereign citizen, you committing fraud. If you think you're finna overthrow this government or this de facto government, you are committing fraud. Point blank. If you talk about you met somebody on the internet and they nationalize you and denationalize you, you just committed fraud. Because no man, no woman can nationalize you or denationalize you. It'll change you from the descendant natures of your foremothers and forefathers. So once again, I'm going all the way back to man understanding law and education, understanding law, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment, understanding international law, willing to sit down and say, you know what, I don't know. Because that takes a man or a woman to say, I don't know. But what a sucker will do is just be trying to fake it till you make it. And you can't fake it till you make it. In a court of law, you cannot arbitrarily explain the law. In a court of law, you cannot just arbitrarily explain things. Peace, Mom. Oh, that's my mom. You cannot arbitrarily explain things. So when I started talking about this get rich quick scheme with a lot of brothers and sisters that don't really understand what I'm saying, when I talk about educating yourself, when I talk about financial literacy, because the thing is not trying to make no money real fast. See, the thing is progress. It's progress. It's progress. Right? It's progress. So when you understand this, you can't get caught up in a get rich quick scheme or a Ponzi scheme. Or I think I'm going to read this book, or I'm going to look at somebody because you saw them on The Breakfast Club or $100 million worth of game. And I tell people, these are all ratings. And we don't understand that these people are paying for this. Do you think any of these Negroes is making that money? The money is off of you. It's no investments. All you got to do is say, let me see your portfolio. Open up your ROI. You are paying people for $200, $300, $400 a course, what they're doing with the money. At least show me what you're doing with the money. Peace, Mom. So this is what I'm saying. I know so many people right now shaking in their boots because they done did that PPP loan for all stuff. So here it is. We have a group of meetings. Somebody try to say, well, for the household, but you don't even know how much these people household make. So you would tell somebody, and they might, and an average household for low income Negroes is at least 35,000. I just say 40. I'd be generous. But here it is, you're gonna make somebody and they're gonna say, well, you know, it's for the household, and tell you to defraud the government and put 120,000 on it. So you get this whatever money magically because you done ran it up. So you get what X amount of money, 10,000. They done charge you 50. They done charge you 50%. But you already in debt. Why? Because it's with the credit card. They charged you for a scam that they ran. Y'all ain't leaving me listening. I told y'all I had a dude went to my high school when me and my empress first got married when I was still in Flint. Came over my house, knocked on my door. I said, dude, don't come to me with that shit. I'm saying it just like this. I told him that. I said, dude, I know what you're doing, but I'm not gonna hate. I know this multi-level marketing thing. Man, I done been through all that all day. I know how that pyramid shit go. I know, yeah, you can pay. I know that. I know all that, but you can't sell that stuff to me. Because I have a mom and a dad, and I'm an entrepreneur. I understand about buying and selling. See, I'm a Jew. My culture is Jewish. I understand about selling and bartering. I done had landscaping companies. Man, I done bought houses, sold clothes, driving back and forth to Detroit with my Chaldean homies. I done sold shoes. I done did everything. SWAT meets, all that. And continue to do it out here, electric. And I'm telling you, nobody invested. They're gonna try to tell you about all the wins by dressing up. But what about all the things when you investment? When you really investing? Man, what are you investing in? It's not real. It's not real. It's a multi-level marketing scam. And so people be mad when they get in public opinion. I told y'all, Tavistock Institution of Human Engineering. If y'all want that book, it costs $4,800 on Amazon. You give a $40 donation, I'll give you the PDF. If you want it printed, my mufti will print it for like $125. It costs $4,800 on Amazon. I'm telling you, this is an old Jedi mind trick. These Negroes is not intelligent. I guarantee you they won't say nothing to me about nothing. I told y'all one of them religious Islam Muslim jumped on my page, and it ain't no disrespect. I'm gonna start saying these clowns' names. Jumped on my page. And I said, and then I started talking about him in a certain way. I started painting the picture like a preacher would do. You talking about me? If the shoe fits Cinderella, rock it. So I started painting the picture. I said, yeah, Negroes be faking like they got some McDonald farms, or go to Home Depot and rent a dang a tool shed, and go on Amazon and get a whole bunch of hard hats and some scissors and get a whole bunch of scam artists. And then if people pay attention to the people that's in the crowd, the same lady that was in his fake McDonald farms is the same lady that he teamed up with in Atlanta, talk about they have 400 acres and they did the ribbon cutting. So where the Neverland McDonald farms at? And that's what we do. And I said, and then they trying to sell 1 acre for $7,500. You don't even own no acres. Where the McDonald farms? Where the McDonald farms that you did the ribbon cutting on the internet? And all these people hit me up was like sheep. He didn't bring that to the nation. He was like, we part of the nation. He said he known but not to bring that shit to the nation because we would have exonerated him. So what they do, they link up with the people they talk about. When they talk about the pale Arab, and they always talk about the women and the women are problem and all this, but that's when you team up with the scam outside community. Because why won't you do it with your nation? Your nation is multi-million, been selling bean pies and final calls for all the hell ever. And the Negroes that's selling it all, they ain't making nothing. They be laughing at the Latter-day Saints riding a bike and all them. Hell, y'all Negroes just selling bean pies and final calls. You ain't getting no money off of it. Might as well come join the temple. At least I'll put you on. Shit, excuse my candor. You understand what I'm saying? Did we talk about multi-million operation? Scams. We scam our own community. I'm telling you, Robert Cialdini, Cialdini, little funny European dude, look like he got a whole bunch of plastic surgery. See, I know too much, and I'm in a lot of circles. Yeah, man, the Latter-day Saints worth billions. The Girl Scouts is too. The BBT will be too. And we're going to do this work righteously. All this stuff, if you want to learn anything, man, give a small donation. I teach this stuff to you. Of course, you can go to anybody, any professor, any PhD, any CPA, any tax preparer to be like, man, that's somebody educated you. Because that's what I'm going to do. I can't guarantee nothing. I don't play that. We educate ourselves on things. It's assumption and risk of everything you do. He wrote the book Precautions and the Psychology of Persuasion, or Persuasion, excuse me, and the Psychology of Persuasion. See, all this stuff is an old Jedi mind trick. See, a lot of the stuff like a lot of these old Europeans I'll be talking about, which a lot of Negroes don't understand. See, I know where this stuff come from. I know a lot of this stuff come from. Just like Scientology. I know a lot of stuff come from. People be mad, but when I started pulling out documents, I deal with academia. Everybody play on people, how can I say, lack of. And if you want to get paid, religion, play on people, unintelligence. Oh, the reason why you ain't this and then this and that. It's a Jedi mind trick. They know it, I know it, but a lot of our people are not educated enough on this. My mama know I'm telling the truth. If I break down all this shit, you'll be like, damn, this is an old Jedi mind trick. It was Europeans back in the day called the Paradigm Group that was talk about they're going to show how not to pay taxes. In Canada, they all went to jail. You want to drive without license, listen to these Europeans, and they talking all this shit behind the prison walls. See? See, these is facts. All a scam. You got to know a Ponzi scheme. Like, only education will help you. Influencer. If you want to read anything about influencer, read them 2 books. I got both of them. You give a donation, you get all this stuff. You don't have to spend all money, and you get a tax-exempt receipt. See, just like a guy told me, he said, brother, you have real companies, but you tax exempt for the federal government. You a nonprofit. Everybody should be dealing with you. You can give people a tax exempt. So if your church is a school like mine, all your books regalia, that's part of your organization. And we don't get it. Fraud across the board. Because we choose not to learn. And people think they be paying me something. I said, dude, you want to give donations. That's the whole thing about the 10th. I'm telling you, that's what the law is about. But we don't understand this. I bet you every Negro on here that say they some more, I bet you they got a job and I can look them up. Or they on Section 8 and I bet you I can look them up. They talking about overthrowing the government, but the government your daddy. Section 8 your daddy, your rent $13, and you making videos talking about overthrowing the government. So if you working, I bet you filing taxes. I bet you file a tax. Every Negro that's working, I bet you file your taxes. And I bet you right now, you're like, I'm going to give me a tax return. And you don't know how much they took out your check the whole year. And you get that change back and you happy. The whole thing is to give Uncle Sam the least amount of money. That's why all rich people, they donate to their charitable contribution of their choice. Because they know that money is not going to run the United States. It sits in the private banking system. But see, these Moors, they think they so smart. If they don't like the government so much, well, you supporting the government. How? By with your taxes. Arguing all day. And you ain't part of an organization that's tax exempt for the federal government. Religious, scientific, charitable organization. You don't understand. See, the Moorish Science Temple of America, I keep telling these people we have a tax exempt ID. You want to, big facts. The Moorish Science Temple of America, we have a tax exempt ID. It's in my room. So when all these cronies talking that stuff, I'll be like, what you talking about? The Moorish Science Temple of America, we have a tax exempt ID. The Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School have a tax exempt ID. See, these big facts. So the conversation can be done right there for all the Moors that be saying this and that and the other. Okay, well, the Moorish Science Temple, what Noble Drew Ali established, we have a tax exempt ID. We got our tax exempt ID, we got our ID card, and our membership card. Point blank. We got our baptism papers. I got my authority paper, my adapt paper. I done showed this a million times. That's why I be laughing at my people. They come on my page and be trying to act like they teaching me something. I be like, how can you teach me something? And my authority comes from the temple. I created a school for people don't have to get caught up in the hoopla. They say you got to be a part of the temple to be a Moor. Man, Noble Drew Ali didn't create Moorish science. He just created the temple. This science is old. So when brothers be coming at me with that, well, do you know about this? I said, man, I'm from the temple. I know everything you saying, sir. So if we know so much, why didn't we go through the temple and claim our nationality? I'll be asking everybody all this. Then they say it don't matter. Well, if we say we love Noble Drew Ali, if it's a temple in your city, it's one temple. Why haven't we done it the right way? And this is what I be asking my brothers and sisters. We always continue to come up with fascist groups and to do things and say, this is how we're going to do it. And we don't have to reinvent the wheel. If the house is built and the furniture is in it, all we must do is live in it. That's why we are the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. We are a group of brothers that proclaim, declare, and have due process and understand who we are, our divine creed, our nationality, willingly, as willing obligors. We'll tell you out of our mouth. So we're not here to argue with nobody that may have a fez on and that might have the flag behind them. I'm not here to argue with no brother like that. Why? Because the same type of Negroes killed my brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bey. That's why I'm telling these people. Half of these people I have met on the internet. This is what I'll be telling us, the energy that we have. A brother will have a fez and to see me, I say, boy, I'm 46 years young. I'm old enough to be your daddy. I done been through it all. I done seen all death. Seen every damn thing. Seen the police kill my best friend, Marlon Ville. The whole police in front of me and my dad. Seen my brother killed. Seen my best friend get his fucking face blew off in middle school, Michael Blackmore. Seen my homeboy K9 get his face shot up by the same Negro. Seen my cousin Miguel Swain get shot the hell up in front of our friend Mike Ville house. See, Mike Ville got killed by his fucking brother. And people and trying to come to me? Hell, my own brother will lie on me. My mama on here. So everything I talk about is experience. It's not here no game. And I'm an educator. And I done been through the fire. The most people on my pages, they never grew up in no Moorish Science Temple. They grew up in the church. I bet you if any of y'all die right now, your mama or big mama is going to bury you at the church or the damn funeral home. I guarantee you. And preacher and Reverend Pope Chop is going to do your eulogy. I guarantee you. I guarantee anybody on here that be saying all this spewing on that, you ain't part of no temple. You ain't part of no sheep. So if you die today, you probably don't have no life insurance or nothing. So they're going to have to do a GoFundMe to bury you. We know that. They talk all this shit. So I guarantee you, all these people, these smart guys on the internet, if they die tomorrow, Lord forbid, their funeral will be at the church. Tell me I'm lying. See, that's why I jump on here to have real conversations with the people. I ain't here to argue with nobody. I don't care what nobody doing with no fez on. I could care less. A fez don't make you a foreign national because you put a fez on that make you a foreign national. Where you get your fez from? Amazon or George Lottery. That's where you got it from. Point blank, because you ain't get it from no sheep. You order it from Amazon or George Lottery. Let's be 100. I got fezes in my backpack. And then you ask these Moors what's the proper perforations of the fez. They'll start pulling up YouTube videos of what somebody else saying. But see, we have manuals. And that's what I'll be saying about these brothers. They think this fez make them, this is our land. This is our land. What land? Any local neighborhood, I don't care, you pay taxes. Local, state, and federal. The local laws override anything you saying. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about, when I talk about fraud and Ponzi scheme, I'm talking about all that black power. Right now, you think Moors is a group of people that don't pay taxes. Well, I'm telling you that's a lie. Because this is what Negro, well, I want to be a Moor. Why? Because I heard Moor don't pay taxes. And then Negroes be using the AA22 number to get a discount on a nasty ass burger at Burger King or some dog food. If you don't want to pay taxes, be a part of a damn church. Be a part of an organization that's taxes in for the federal government. Religious, scientific, charitable. And donation-wise, like the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. I keep telling y'all, I know all organizations that's taxes in for the federal government don't pay taxes on purchases. And we're talking about big purchases and group purchases. So when Negroes talking that, oh, you happy because you got a discount on some dog food or some tennis shoes? And then they talk about cancel corporate debt. You see, so you're going to cancel corporate debt, but then you use that's why I be saying, we all messed up. It's fraud all across the board. Because then here go the other scam. We're going to cancel corporate debt. I asked any of these Negroes on Section 8, what corporate debt do you have? You couldn't even tell me. See? You couldn't even tell me. Corporate debt. What corporate debt do any more have? And I asked these people, where you getting it from? I know where all the scam come from. I know these people real name. One of the dudes was Shalimar Bey. I ain't gonna say the other guy name because that's everybody's so-called grand sheep. Talk about the Moorish consulate. It ain't no Moorish consulate. They talk about some MAC number. It ain't no Moorish American consulate. It's not one. And then if that's the case, why that dude on the edge of the highway get beat up and talk about he the consulate general of Morocco and why the president of Morocco was in jail? And ain't no president of Morocco or no consulate general of Morocco here in the States locked up. See, this is the insanity and the scam artist stuff that Negroes are under today. And I keep talking about mental health and scam artists all across the board, all across the community. We got the people with the fake, I'm finna flip houses, I'm finna help you make this magical money, this Forex. I asked everybody. I want to ask my niece, because they was making posts, oh, do you like your job? And then, do you like your job? How much money you done made in that bullshit? That's why I be saying people just be always talking stuff. You ain't making no money. That shit ain't making no bag. We just having barbershop talk. You see? And these is facts. So when we talk about alpha male, no, we're talking about beta male. Why? Because we can't have these intelligent conversations on what's right and what's honorable and what's noble. And if we're going to talk about civics and law, you cannot arbitrarily explain the law just because what somebody told you. You can't do it like that. And you can't cross-reference different dispensations of law. You can't do that. So if you're not willing to sit down and have an intellectual conversation with me, especially if somebody say they are Moor and got a Moorish flag and the feds on their head, I don't want to have no problem with, I don't want to have no conversation with a lot of these adults, because what I've been seeing, because I'm a mental health counselor as well, a lot of these men have mental health issues. A lot of these men haven't graduated out of the 3rd grade. A lot of these men are a high level and low level schizophrenia. A lot of these men have been raised just on with their moms. Not saying that you're not nice, but you don't know how to make decisions. A lot of men haven't been taught and educated how to make a decision. They make decisions based off how they feel, and how they feel 10 times out of 10 is based on what? Emotion and lower self. See, these is big facts. A lot of men don't be around men to talk like us. They all on the internet all day, just typing away, and be waiting to jump on somebody's page just to type away. And they never been on my page before. That's what I be telling men. Man, sometimes it's just good to shut the hell up. And if we're not here to learn, all we got to do is excuse ourselves. I ask any man, have you ever been to a lecture? Oh, yeah, I've been to a lecture. Academia-wise, oh, yeah, no, you haven't. Because if you've been to an academia lecture, you look up and see who the person is. It's a professor. It's a scholar, an educator. And that educator does things on a peer-reviewed scholarly research level. That means it's been fact-checked. And you can't be here basing your what you're talking about on how you feel. 1 Thessalonians 5:21 is prove all things and hold fast to what is good. But that's what we do as Negroes. We'll say, what's your experience and what's your background? The internet. What's your profession? Man, I drive a motherfucking fork truck for Amazon. Or I do shit. I sell weed. I drop my girl off every day. I keep telling these men I'm 46. I got a bachelor's degree in business management with a minor in marketing and sales. I got a dual master's degree. I done been through the fire. My mom and dad love me. I'm a husband. I'm a businessman. I do a lot of charity. I'm part of the West Valley Health Summit. Every year I donate $1,500 to the West Valley Health Summit. Every year I donate to the Youth Development Institution, where I used to be a counselor at, out of my own pocket. I get a plaque every year. So what more is talking about? I go to the Thumb Correctional Facility every time I go back home to Flint, Michigan, and minister in the prison to brothers locked up. I don't care what color you are. So why do brothers do this and always want to talk about some paper? I call these Negroes paper terrorists. These Negroes that be riding around the car with a stack of papers and get pulled over by the police. Or do you know the 13th Amendment? What that got to do with it? What's going on? Or do you got a card on you? That ain't protocol for them to have no card. You see how stupid we are? And then that's what we do. We done became nigga criminals with feds on. Excuse my candor. All across the board. It's scam, scam, scam. And it's only happened in our own community. In our own community. The feds is older than me and you. The Masons adopted it. These brothers ain't part of nothing or initiated to nothing. I call them rogue Moors, a person that just bought the feds on the internet and just and watched a whole bunch of videos at home and go to work all day and close themselves in the room and come out into the world and try to act like they some mighty God because you got a feds on your head. You still the same Negro you was without it on. This is what I be telling these brothers. How? Because if you got a job, all I got to do is pull you up by your social security number. And if you got a cell phone, you binging off a tower. And I bet you go to court, you're going to spew out the mouth and you're going to be scared. And I bet you the referee or the judge going to tell you to take that fez off. And you're going to take it off. But you're going to say, no, this is my national headdress. And he's going to say, well, give me the precedent in law, the doc number, and the Free Information Act that say you can wear that in court. And if you can't break it down for the record, I'm going to tell you to take that hat off. And what most of these Negroes do, take it off. Because you don't know the precedent in law, the doc number or the Free Information Act to say or to understand the law that you can wear your fez in court, in the military, your turban in court, in military, your fez and work, all that. Only time that you can't wear your fez at work, you must take your tassel out if you operate heavy machinery. If you don't know that, you don't know your religious laws on your job. Why you these Moors spewing all this stupid shit to me? Excuse my candor. I ask every person, what's the religious laws on your job? They have no idea. Because the stuff you talking is about the government can get you fired. A lot of people that don't understand what is a right to work state, I'll be asking these brothers in Atlanta, in Texas, and in Arizona where I'm at, do you know what a right to work state is? Nope. So anytime you talk about overthrowing the government, your ass can get fired from your job and get put on a domestic terrorist list. You want to play the game? Because I'll name every Negro that's on that list right now. I share it with all my muftis. This law is called the Free Information Act. It's a thing called doc number. It's a thing called precedent in law cases. The Free Information Act, doc number, precedent in law cases. I'll look anybody up and I'll tell you they lying. It's just like a book. It's an ISBN number. Do you know what an ISBN number is? Probably not. But I'm telling you big facts. I'm telling you big facts. I'll be seeing these Moors get pulled over. The first thing they start running their mouth. Well, let me tell you something. Is this fact or is this not fact? You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. And nothing you say can help you with your case. And nothing you say can help you. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Nothing you say to the police or anything can help you with your case. This is all across the board. When I be talking about independent audits, when I be talking about our brothers that have money that's giving it to Uncle Sam and not understand the tax codes and understanding what I'm talking about, man, we just being defrauded all the way across the board by our whole community with the fake Forex people, with the fake flip houses, all the way to the fake Moorish science, fake sovereign citizen. Talk about they finna expatiate from this de facto government, all the way down to the fake hotel, all that. It's all fraud. And they all squatting in houses, all that is fraud. Y'all know it, but it's gonna happen. All that fake passport is all RICO and mail fraud. And it's coming. And that's what I'm telling y'all. We don't do criminal things. Moorish science is not criminal. I always give an analogy or a parable. It's not the Yankee hat that's killing people. It's the Negro under the Yankee hat. You can't blame the hat. You can't blame the Air Forces that's killing the Negroes. If 15 people kill somebody and they all had on Air Forces, the Air Forces didn't make them do it. They just have on those tennis shoes. So the feds don't make these Negroes criminals. They already criminals before they put the feds on. And now they think they some Moorish sovereign citizen nigga criminal. That's what they think. But they the same thing as these European goddamn militia groups. They just call themselves Moorish sovereign citizens. And you're going to be right in jail next to them. I'm telling you, I got all these Negroes' names. These is facts. You got Negroes with feds on and I call them Negro sovereign citizen criminals. And that's what this community come to. And that's what everybody think Moorish science is. A group of stupid Negroes that talk about they claim their nationality with some feds. And this is what's happening. They're not an American. They some stupid foreign national. And somebody can claim your nationality. And you can't even explain that to me. That's what everybody think Moorish Science is on the internet. A group of people that don't pay taxes. You would say, oh yeah, I heard about that Moorish Science. Is that a group of people that don't pay taxes? I know church folk that don't pay taxes. When I have my temple out here, my people don't pay taxes on purchases. What are we talking about? So you're going to go tell people, yeah, the Moors, I want to claim my nationality, they don't pay taxes. Really? Or you're going to teach somebody how to overthrow the government and defraud the government and say you making this money to get some fake credit cards and run it up and got to pay it all back. So you want to defraud the government on all levels. That's what we here to do? I hope not. So when brothers jump on my Instagram page, I hope you do your research in law and everything. I hope you do your due diligence when you coming at me. Because I would do the same for you. Because there's probably ain't going to be no due diligence I have to. Because most people, they just on the internet and they go to work. They don't have any experience or they don't have any application. Man, I'm all in the churches, in the synagogues, in the temples, in the prisons. And I'm in Arizona where it's a red state. Lecturing to Europeans, Masons, lower level Masons, teaching them they sons of Muslims. A prophet and angel is no good in his own country. I understand that. That's why I left Flint, Michigan. I understand that. And I come out here with people that don't look like me. Because I'm who I am. Just like the Ethiopian rabbi that Lavelle Goodard was talking about. Same thing. So that's what I'm trying to tell my brothers and sisters, man. We must learn and be educated. We must sit down and say, yes, I'm willing to learn. Because we spending so much finances on things that's doing nothing for us. Look at your family. And are we taking that same energy and that same passion, teaching our family, teaching our kids, working out, loving? A lot of these men not even husbands. A lot of these men don't do even any community service. I ask these men that have children, when is the last time you went to a teacher conference at the school with your kids? When? You see? And your kids don't even wear a fez or turban. So I love everybody, man. But we need to lower our testosterone a little bit and come with love. I don't know why all these men is mad at their own brother that look like them. That's educating. But when you go to jail, you're going to listen. You're going to be asking your mom, man, can you get in sheet? Can you do this? But we don't want to educate ourselves to be operate right. We want to just spew a whole bunch of stuff. And that proves that we are unintelligent. It proves it. And that's why I tell a lot of people, don't open your mouth and prove that we don't know anything. Let people assume that you know everything or that you don't know a goddamn thing. Let people assume, because when we open our mouth, people that know my background and know the history, they'll be like, man, this dude just put his foot in his mouth. Why is he spilling this off? Clearly, we don't do our due diligence on our own people. And that's how we get scammed in our own community. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. Let's learn. Let's learn. I said, if y'all want those books by Robert Cialdini, those little books, all that influencer stuff, I have them. The book I'm offering you today for a $40 donation, Tavistock Institution of Human Engineering, I'll get you the PDF for $40. It's $4,800 on Amazon. But our print press, we'll print it and bind it. As I start showing y'all things, these Europeans, no disrespect. European, Albion, Trelodike, they're no smarter than you. All these publication companies, they're in their fictitious name or they pseudonym. Peter Moon, all of them, they have fictitious names. They wrote in their pen name. Flavius Joseph, all pen names. They have their own publication company. All these people have their own publication company. We have our own too. So we can't say a European, an Albion, that'll admit that they a caveman is more intelligent than us and our brothers and sisters that's doing the work. We can't do that. We got to stop belittling our own teachers. And all we doing is promoting dead people. Carter G. Woodson, I got the same education as Carter G. Woodson. A.J. Rogers, I got the same education. Ivy Van Sertima, Sheikh Anta Diop, I got the same education as these brothers. The literature I've gathered and compiled, just the same or more. So what are we doing? What are we doing? And it's only one law. So the brother, watch this as I close. see, when brothers be talking, and I ask them because see this right here is 400 some pages. Actually, and then you got about like from page like 620, you got a couple of definitions. But when people be spewing stuff at the mouth, I say, well, man, just go on Amazon, buy Exhumed of the Nation for $250 and read it all. And then come back to me and have a conversation. And then I start giving you all pieces of how the temple is made. Everything a person talking about trust, I'll show them. I'll start telling you what council of courts consist of. I'll show you what white by law mean. But when a person be spewing all that stuff out, and they say, oh yeah, I got that book. People be having stuff and don't understand it. It's called Sudoku. I think it's a Japanese phrase where people just be collecting books with no intention of reading it. And then they can't even apply none of the stuff that they reading. See, this is like a dictionary. It costs about $200 something on Amazon. So Negroes is not going to buy something that, and it's all in here where people just be spewing up at the mouth. I'll be like, okay, read it. And we have these. I provide these for people. But we'll go on Amazon and pay $200 for it. But a sheik got it right here. A teacher, an educator, a medicine man, a shaman, a tasawwuf, a brother that look just like you. Have a full library. Anything that you think you can get on Amazon, I have the full library. And I have wisdom because I'm an initiate. I have books and science that a person probably never ever heard of in their life. And I know that's for a fact because I have a library with over 1 million books and documents. And that's big facts. And that's not bragging. That's just including physical. If I take you to my storage, I'll show you even more hard books. If I take you in my garage, I have a full library because this is my life. This is my life. So I can burn this right now and give you verbatim chapter for chapter and then go in the law chapter for chapter, in the Quran chapter for chapter, in the Bible chapter for chapter, local, state, federal, international law chapter for chapter and break it down and show you that law governs all events. Matter of fact, I don't even need this. I'll use the Bible that people talk about as some white man book and the Quran and everything in the Bible and the Quran. I'll break down chapter for chapter that's in this book. And all my muftis know I'm telling the truth. When we talk about the book of Eli, I'm talking about, in my academia time, I had the pleasure to cross study. I was able to go into the laboratory and use my test tubes and my beakers per se. And everybody know I'm telling the truth. I taught Europeans that thought they was educators when I was doing my oral dissertation that came from all across over from Harvard and from Cambridge and from the Royal Archive libraries to hear my dissertation and try to buy my books. Ask my mom. I taught them. My professor was like, what society you with? I said, none of your business. You see what I'm saying? The European will tell you that they a son of a Muslim. Every European Mason be like, yeah, well, he's my teacher. He was like, yeah, I'm only 32 and 33 degrees. That's when water freezes. That's in meteorology. He was like, well, he's the sheik. But a Negro will say they're a widow son. But the European understand that they sons of Muslims. That's why I tell everybody, the European is not the joke of masonry. The Negro is, because he'll tell you that he a widow son. You see? And I don't get disrespect from my sons. I don't get disrespect from my Muslim brothers and my Jewish community and my Islamic community. I don't. I get love, especially from all my European religious Protestants, Jews, all that, because I'm who I am. And so that's what I'm telling my brothers and sisters. These is facts and these is keys. We must have aptitude and application. You know good and well the average brother is not reading. I ask all these brothers, what's the last thing you read and understand and applied in the last 2 months? Nothing. But how many YouTube videos and how many bull crap and how many blunts you smoked and how many hats you bought and how much spewing off at the mouth you talk. This much. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. Stay righteous. Stay learning. Everything must make sense. And question everything. Question what I'm saying. Because the truth has no sides. Brothers should be able to take all that stuff off and be exactly who they are. But we listening to people that dropped out of high school and trying to tell somebody something. That's on welfare. They try to tell somebody something. They try to tell you how to be a husband or a man, but it's not even married. They're trying to tell you about investing in money and have none. We got to stop that. That's why the boys talk about the talented 10th. It's only a couple brothers that's righteous. That's what the army said. Many are called, but only a few are chosen. We got to know this, and we got to anoint our brothers that's righteous. And all these frauds, man, let them go. I love y'all, man, and peace.